Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now remember, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box and in the comment section. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And before I get started, let me send a shout out to my YouTube partner BK WorldTube, where you get everything from Love and Hip Hop to RuPaul's Drag Race to the Have and the Have-Nots and even the Oval. So go to BK WorldTube today and check them out. And also, I would like to announce that I'm now a volunteer for GMHC, which is Gay Men's Health Collaborative, which pretty much the main mission is to educate, the Black LGBTQ community around, public health, HIV prevention, as well as treatment for HIV and STIs. So definitely follow me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also Twitter, for updates of their upcoming events. And so yeah. So today I'm doing another mukbang, and what I have for you here is buffalo wings with some baby carrots on the side. And what I'm gonna do is add some of this sauce here. This is Ray's secret sauce. I love this stuff. It definitely has a hint of horseradish and spice, and man, this stuff tastes like heaven on your chicken wings. And for those of you who who know me, I'm a big chicken wing fanatic. So if you give me some chicken wings, I'll be your best friend. Just letting it be known. Now, have you guys checked out the debate last week? Man, that was rather interesting. But one thing that definitely interests me is that both of them were more, I would say, presidential than that first presidential debate. I mean, they really had it together, and they both presented themselves very well. I mean, I know that fly landed on Pence's head. That was some serious shade. But I would have to say that they both held their own. And I would have to say that Miss Kamala Harris, she pulled out that Tabasco hot sauce out her bag a few times during that debate. Excuse me, I was speaking. No, honey, you interrupted me. I was speaking. Yeah. Okay. I was like, she was not here for the disrespect, and I definitely take my hat off to her for that. Pence in some way got my sympathy, because here it is, he's got to clean up Trump's mess, and he has to be at the front lines of all of this shit that Trump has done. And I would have to say this, that if Trump is going to lose this election, it will mainly be due to COVID-19 and how he handled it. But Kamala did not shy away from that. She talked about his negligence and the fact that there are people's lives have been turned upside down due to COVID, and it's as if he's not really taking it, the fact that the American people are in a crisis right now. I mean, they're saying, the Republicans are saying that they have the majority as far as the American people, but most of the American people now, their lives have been turned upside down, and people are dealing with a lot, not just dealing with finances, but dealing with mental and emotional health, and physical. This has taken a toll on everyone. I mean, even for myself, I had a nervous breakdown during this situation, and I'm just now getting back, to me. So I can't imagine what some other people out here are going through. And it makes me, more understanding that, people out here are going through things just as much as me. You know what I'm saying? So it helped me to not just think of myself, but to think that I'm not alone here. And when it comes down to this whole American situation, we're not alone. And as far as what I'm seeing is that the Republicans want to continue to do business as usual, but everything has now changed due to COVID. Let's just say a lot of smoke has been clearing from the mirrors, since COVID happened. Because, as I said before in many other posts, that 2020 is a blessing and a curse. I mean, a curse because of all the negative impact that it's had on people's lives, but a blessing from the fact that, it creates new opportunity. It creates a new normal. And it also creates, 2020 vision. So now you can see through shit far better now than you ever had before. And just from watching that debate, I was seeing through the bullshit. Actually, on both sides. Because there were times where Kamala kind of danced around things, and, that's the art of spin. That's what these politicians do. But I definitely like how they handled themselves, and it was a debate that I actually watched and was really in tune, because I watched the presidential debate and I was just kind of laughing the whole time because it was just ridiculous. And it was kind of the same thing with these moderators. Like I said before, if Gwen Edfield were alive today and she was doing the moderating, they wouldn't been doing any of that shit. Like Pence, when he kept talking, and she's like, "Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Vice President Pence. That's enough, Vice President Pence." His mic would have got shut off. You know what I'm saying? Because, the moderator is the one that sets the tone. The moderator is like the DJ when it comes down to when it comes down to the debates, period. So the rule of the house is that you respect the DJ. So these two moderators need to kind of take that momentum, like, y'all need to get that together and stop letting. I mean, they have presidential positions, but at the end of the day, they're still human and they have to follow rules just like everyone else. But mainly that I actually did enjoy it. So that's just pretty much all I'm gonna say about the vice presidential debates. But share your thoughts about it too. Get down in those comments and let me know what were your thoughts about Pence and Kamala duking it out. Another thing I want to talk about is we have experienced some really some tragic loss. One is the actor Thomas Jefferson Boyd. He was actually shot multiple times in the back in Atlanta, and he has passed away. You definitely know him from a lot of roles in Spike Lee movies. He actually played Luther the janitor and Set It Off. He was in movies like He Got Game, Girl 6, and many others. And the guy was a very talented brother, and I definitely, loved seeing him on screen, because he had like a certain quality to a lot of the characters that he played, and he was really good. And it's just so sad that we've lost him in such a tragic way. So my condolences to him and his family, and rest in peace, Thomas Jefferson Boyd. And another person that we lost is an actual legend, you know, in music, Eddie Van Halen. I ain't gonna front, I was a big Van Halen fan. I definitely loved Jump. Jump was my song. You know, I used to play Jump all the time. Even as a kid watching MTV, I used to get my life. I mean, I love rock music. I love different genres of music. And definitely, I remember him being married to Valerie Bartinelli, you know, from One Day at a Time. And, you know, definitely is, you know, one of the creators of one of the best rock bands of all time. And, you know, he passed from cancer, and definitely he will be dearly missed. And my condolences to him and his family as well. Another thing I want to discuss is, y'all followed the last MUKBANG I did when I talked about Tevin Campbell threatening to sue Jaguar Wright. Well, Jaguar did another response by reappearing on Storm Monroe, podcast. Shout out to Storm Monroe. I have to say, they went back and forth, and they did a phenomenal interview. And I know a lot of people were asking, why is she doing all of this? Why is she putting everybody out there? And her answer to that was, she wants to change the music industry forever. She wants to change the face of the music industry. And I've even said it before, like, this problem that she's talking about in the music industry, this is a problem in mostly all the industries in America. You know, misogyny, sexual harassment, you know, sexual abuse, all of those things. I mean, these things happen a lot in many other industries in America. And I actually salute her by speaking about these things, because it's breaking that negative connotation and actually making it a more of a fair exchange, and putting people in a position where they can actually win off of their hard work and merit, and that they can take away all of the negative aspects of how business is being done. You know, where it's all about who's going to put the machine behind you, and a lot of times, unless you putting out, they're not going to give in. And this is a history about it. I mean, you watch Unsung or listen to some of these other artists speak about the issues in the music industry, you know that it's true. And there's definitely some truth in what Jaguar's saying. So I definitely stand behind her that, you know, as an artist myself, you know, I want people to make it based off of their talent, not based off of their looks or who they screwed or the fact that they were sexually violated and sworn to secrecy. I mean, something like that you can never put behind you. That's something that's traumatic and is always going to be with you. But I love the fact that she finally addressed it, that this is why she's doing what she's doing. She wants to change the music industry forever. She wants artists to finally, you know, earn, you know, their masters and earn their rights to their music, and actually, you know, get the actual success and support that they deserve to have. And I'm all about that. You know, I'm all about fair business, and I'm all about people getting what they deserve. I mean, because there's so many people that have been ripped off, myself included, in many situations, where even though you work hard and even though you're a diligent person, there's just certain people in the higher ups that don't respect your craft and don't respect you, and they don't put that support behind you. If anything, they try to do things to sabotage you or get you thrown out the door. And this is a problem in all industries in America. So this is like a testament that America in and of itself has to change, you know, from policy and as far as the spirit, you know, of how America is driven. I mean, in all honesty, America is not as clean as we think it is. I mean, America has a lot of dirt that needs to be cleaned up. And I celebrate her for what she's doing. I mean, people say she's crazy and all of that. I'm like, trust me, everybody crazy right now. And after what she's been through, I salute the woman that she's still standing strong and she's no longer afraid of speaking her truth. And I think we all should be trying to get to a place like that where we can actually express our truths without apologies or without resentment. And she also mentioned why she was mentioning certain people. And then, like, when it came down to Diddy, she admitted Diddy's not even my actual target. He's just a means to an end. Her actual target is Clive Davis. And immediately, I thought about Phyllis Hyman. I thought about how she practically was blackballed after he let her go from the label after he signed Whitney Houston. I mean, even though she had a career after that, I mean, because, you know, Philadelphia Records, you know, ran by Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, they got her as an artist and they supported her, but they didn't have, due to the fact that they were, you know, not a major label, they didn't have the same backing as far as promotion and you know, PR and all of that. So therefore, she struggled, you know, and definitely after she got let go, no other major label would touch her, you know, because Clive has the Midas touch when it comes down to the music industry. The guy's a master at it. But she's even saying that, like, Clive has messed over a lot of people and he's done a lot of dirty, you know, he's done a lot of, you know, dirty business handlings when it's come down to certain artists. And I can definitely say what he did to Phyllis was fucked up. Because Phyllis was truly a trendsetter in her own right. I mean, the woman was a complete package. And it just baffles me that with all of that grace and with all of her talent, with all of her music, and then even her style, she should have been far bigger than what she was. And I think those are the things that kind of led to her depression. But I thank, you know, Storm Monroe and Jaguar Wright for having that second interview to clear things up. And it just makes me support what she's doing even more, you know. And it's not just about the drama, you know, that I'm listening to. Oh, she's talking about this person, that person, that person. Some of this stuff that she's talking about, we've heard before. I mean, if you're a person who's really into music or really into celebrity gossip, a lot of this stuff has been talked about. Like what she said about Diddy, I've been heard that for years about Diddy, or Mary J. Blige and things like that. You know, I've heard some of these things before. I mean, so that happens. But I'm really more listening to what her true intentions are and the fact that what we see is not exactly what it really is behind closed doors. I mean, that's true for even family and friends. You know, you go to a family get-togethers, everybody looking so happy, but you never know what's going on behind closed doors when everybody goes home. Just on some real. But definitely for me, I think, you know, yeah, we definitely need to change a lot in the music industry, but we need to change this in all industries. And my whole thing about the whole election, I think there should really be discussion on real, you know, policy change, you know, as far as the police and how they conduct themselves out here in the streets. as far as the black community, you know, what's pretty much going to be our place and what we should expect to gain, because I just think that this election is somewhat narrow, and I think it's more broader because everyone's life is affected by this, and I think we should definitely talk about the real issues, you know, the real problems in America, you know, even dealing with white supremacy, racism, you know, misogyny, abuse, you know, all of these things. I mean, especially how, you know, people of color are treated in this country, and how there's systemic racism, you know, where certain levels or certain opportunities are kept from us because of the color of our skin. And you want to say we're free? That has to, these are the discussions that need to be had. And it can no longer go back to politics as usual. Politics has to change the face as well. So not only does the music has to change, but then pretty much every aspect of America has to change for the better if we're gonna prevail through this, and if we're gonna see any brighter days moving forward. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, y'all. I just wanted to get on here and actually connect with you guys, and you know, really hear you guys' thoughts on these current situations. But get down in those comments and let me know your thoughts. I'd definitely like to hear from you guys. So until next time, everybody, take care.